Good morning, class, and welcome to Sociology, Introduction to Sociology. I'll be your professor this semester. My name is Professor White, and I just wanted to do a little video just to show you how to get around the website, as well as an introduction to this week's topics that we're going to be discussing in Chapter 1. So the first thing that I would highly recommend for all of you is once you log into Etudes, go over to the left-hand side of the menu, and you're going to see that there's different little tabs. There's Home, Course Map, Announcements, Syllabus, Modules, etc. Pay close attention to those tabs on the left because that's what's going to be directing you in terms of turning an assignment, going to the discussion board, finding out your instructions for the week for what we'll be learning about. The first one I would start with would be the syllabus. The syllabus is the most important piece of information that you are going to have to follow the entire term. I'm the type of instructor that follows week by week. I do not change around my syllabus, so what you see is what you're going to get, and that's how we're going to follow accordingly. The majority of all questions that usually students ask can be found on the syllabus. That's where you're going to find out your textbook. That's where you're going to find out the assignments that we'll be doing in the course. That's also going to give you information week by week when your assignments are due, when your exams are scheduled, etc. So I would highly recommend for you to print that out and then to have it by you as we go week by week by week. I actually have mine printed out, and then as we go each week, I actually highlight and check off each week that we've completed. So please pay attention to the syllabus. The other thing you're going to want to do is on the home page, you're going to notice that there's an announcement section. If you have a school email account, it's going to be directly sent to your school email account. So if you don't have one, make sure that you do sign up to have one. When I do send out an announcement in case of an emergency or I made a mistake on something and I let you know, I send out announcements that will go to your email. But if you do not get your email to your school account, then I would recommend for you to check the announcements section. The other thing I was going to say that's very important on our class website is the modules. Each module you're going to see is divided into week by week of what we're learning. This week, when you go into week 1, chapter 1, you're going to notice you'll find the instructions for chapter 1 as well as week 1. You're going to notice that I provide you the PowerPoints. Now, the PowerPoints more often than not are going to correlate with what you see in the textbook. However, I always like to bring in new resources into those PowerPoints to help you understand a bit more of what we're learning for that week. So make sure to view the PowerPoints. As well as this week, you're going to see that there's the instructions for your news reflection. So your news reflection is going to be one of the assignments that you're going to have this term. You'll find the instructions in this module as well as a student example. So I would highly recommend, again, for you to take a look. You can also print those out so that you have those readily available when we start working on those assignments. Okay. Assignments, tests, and surveys, you'll notice that in the announcements section, I have provided you information, the steps to how to submit an assignment, how to begin your exams. As we get closer to the exams, I'll provide you more information regarding those. How many questions are they? How long do you have? Etc. Next on the list, you have the discussion and private message. So this is a very important tab and link to click on because here you'll notice that this is where you find your weekly discussions. As you know, we're an online class. We are not face-to-face. And so this is how we have our face-to-face conversation, just like if we were in the classroom. Every week I provide you with different questions regarding the chapter and the topics that we're discussing, and you have until Friday 11:59 to submit your initial post, and then you have until Sunday to respond to 2 peers. So all that information is provided within the discussion board, and there are different steps to what I'm looking for in your responses. Okay, this is also where if you want to talk to me privately, you can email me through the private messages on Etudes, or you can also email me at my school account, and then you can find that again on the syllabus. In the chat room, this is meant more for like a public forum. If you have any general questions, like if you can't find a response to something, or you just can, just need some guidance, maybe in general by your peers, that is where you're going to post. Do not post any personal messages asking, did you receive this assignment that I turned into you, or did you receive the email that I sent you? Because again, it's public, everyone's going to see it. So make sure that, if you do need to have a private conversation, to email me privately. Okay. Again, I hope that you enjoyed this course. Oftentimes students find Introduction to Sociology a little bit difficult just because of the reasons being that it's very deep in theories. I oftentimes find that theory can be a little bit difficult for students to understand, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to understand it, right? Or it can be hard, because I love social media. I love current events, stories that are occurring. You're going to notice we're in the election season, so we are going to be utilizing many current event stories that are going to come out. You figure we're going to be voting in a president as we are taking this course. So what better way to correlate, right, our different theories, the different foundations that we have in sociology, and then applying it to the real world, right? So we're going to be talking about everything from sporting events. We figure, again, we have NFL coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll probably wrap up the Olympics, talk about that, especially when we talk about ascribed and achieved status. We'll talk a little bit about that. So everything and anything, you're going to notice that your news reflections are the same way. I want you to correlate things that are happening in current events, and then again, articulating it and putting it into the context of what we're learning in the class. I hope you enjoy it. It's a fun class to take. This was a class that I never thought even existed. I went as a psychology major at UC Santa Barbara, and then my junior year, I was not liking it so much, and I had to take summer school, and I saw that there was an Intro to Soc class. I said, why not, right? I have nothing else to do. Well, I do, but I had to take that class because it was a GE class. I enrolled in it and totally changed my life, right? So I hope it does the same for you. You're going to learn very fast that we are all sociologists pretty much on a daily basis. We're all people watchers. I just get to call myself a professional people watcher because I have a degree, which goes along with sociology, right? But you're going to notice this, again, topics that, some weeks you're going to say, this really hits home. I totally relate to this. And maybe some other weeks you'll say, I don't relate to this, but I can understand and appreciate it in a different way than maybe I was taught or raised or believed, right? So again, welcome to Introduction to Sociology, and I hope you enjoy the course. Bye.